Hey guys, welcome to Tech Vitals. Today we are going to learn about strings and the built-in functions for strings in Python. So a string is basically the collection of characters. So any words or any sentence is a string. For example, let's say name equals James. So here James is the string value, and we always enclose the string value with either the double quotes or the single quotes. So James is a word and it's a string, but let's say if we type my name is James, now it is a sentence, but it is also a string because it is the collection of characters or the letters. Okay, so to count how many characters are there in a string, we can use the len function. So if we print and use len and pass this name variable, now it will return the length, or it will return the total number of characters in this James. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So it should return 5. So let's try to run this. Okay, so it returned 5. Now if we add one more and try to run this, now it's 6. Okay, so in Python, the strings are managed in the index. So here in this James, each character in this string has its own index position. So the first position always starts from the index 0. So here the index value of J is 0, then index value of A is 1, index value of M is 2, index value of E is 3, and the index value of S is 4. And we can also use the index method. So if we type name dot index, and let's say we want to find the index of this E, then we can pass this E character in this dot index method. And now if we print it, it will return the index value of E. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and the index value of J will be 0. And we can also access just one single character of the string by using this index value. So if we print name and then in this square bracket we type 0, so now what we are saying is we want to print the 0 index value of the name variable. So the name variable has the value James, and we want just the value that is in the 0 index position, or that is in the first position, that is J. So this code will just return J. So let's try to run this. As you can see, it printed J. If we pass 1, now it should return this A, because A is in the 1 index position. Okay, so we can say that J is in the 0 position, A is in the 1 position, M is in the 2 index position, E is on the 3, and S is on the 4th index position. And we can also access these characters in the negative index position. So for the negative index position, we have to start from the last character. So this last character will always have the index position of -1. Then after this, E will have -2, M will have -3, A will have -4, and J will have -5. So the index position of S will also be -1, E -2, M -3, A -4, and J -5. Now let's change these lines into comments because we don't want the Python code to execute these codes. So if you type hash in front of the line, then that line will be treated as the comment, and that line will not be executed by the Python. Okay, so as I said, the index value of s will also be -1. So if we try to print the name with the index value of -1, it should print s. So let's see. There we go. So both the 4th index value and the -1 index value of this name will return this s, because this one is using the negative index value and this one is using the positive index value. So both of this print function will return s, just like this. If we print -5 or 0, then both of these are referring to this j character, so it will print j. And we can also access more than one character at a time. So let's say print name and then 0, then use colon and let's say 4. So what we are saying is we want to print the value of this name variable, but only those values that starts in the 0 index and ends at the 4th index, but excluding the value that is in the 4th index. So this 0 to 4 means we will just get the value from the 0 index to 3rd index. It will not include the value that is on the 4th index. So from 0 to 4 we can see J, A, M and E, and this S is in the 4th index, so this will not include the S. So if we try to run this code, it will just print the value from J to E. So let's print it, and as you can see it just print JAME. Now if we give 5 and try to run it, now it's returning the James, because now it is including the values from 0 index to 4th index, because the value at 5 index will not be included. And let's say if we change this 0 into 1, so now what we are saying is we want to return the value that starts in the 1 index from 5th index, but excluding the 5th index, that is from 1 index to 4 index. So in the 1 index we have A, and in the 4 index we have S. So this will just print from A to S. So let's see. As you can see, it just printed AMES. It didn't print J because we are starting at the index position 1. So this is called slicing. We are slicing the value of string using the index. And here if we don't provide any index value, so we just provide colon. Now this will include all the characters we have in this name variable. So it will take the first index value, and it will also take the last index value, and it will print all those values that are within the first index and last index. So if we print this, then it will print James. But let's say if we provide 1 in the beginning and we just put blank in the right side, now it will take the value that is in the first index, that is A, and then includes all the remaining values, that is MES as well. So it will print AMES. And in the same manner, if we put the left side blank and we give 3 in the right side, now it will begin at the first index, so it will take J, and then it will go until the value that is in the 3rd index, excluding the 3rd index. So it will just include 0, 1 and 2, that is JAM. So if we try to run this, it printed JAM. And now if we give one more colon and at the end we give -1, then this will simply reverse the value that is in the name variable. So if we try to print it, it printed the James, but in the reverse order. So this is one of the trick to reverse the string. Okay, so this slicing is really important in Python. Just like string, we also use the slicing for some other data types like list, tuples, or dictionaries. So we have to understand this concept of slicing and indexing to be able to modify the data properly. Now we can also use the count method. So print name.count, and let's say we pass a. So what we are doing here is we want to count this a character in this name variable. So we are counting how much a is in the James. So we just have one a in James, so it will return 1. So let's say if we add 2 more a's, so now we have 3 a's in this string value. So now if we run this, it will return 3. So we can use this count method to count the certain character in the string. Now let's see some more method that we can use in a string. So if we print name dot upper, it will change all this string value into uppercase. So if we run this, now all the values, all the characters in the string are uppercased. And like upper, we can also use lower, and this will change all the characters into lowercase. So all the characters are in the lowercase. And let's say we change this capital J into small j, and now if we use capitalize, then it will automatically capitalize this first character of the string. So now if we run this, even if we have the lower character j, this capitalize method will convert that j into uppercase. Now finally, let's see how to concatenate different string values. So let's say name James, address California, occupation is student. So here we have 3 string values, or 3 variables that contain string value, name, address, and occupation. Now to concatenate them, we can use plus. So let's try to print this. So name plus address plus occupation. So here we are concatenating these 3 variables. So it will print James and concatenate them with address and also concatenate them with the occupation. So if we try to run this, it's printing James, California, and student. And to include the space, we can also concatenate the space and then use plus again. Here also plus space, and now we can run this with space. So in the case of integers, plus will simply do the addition, and in case of strings, plus will just concatenate the strings. So we can also do my name is, and then plus name, plus I live in, then plus address, plus and I am, plus occupation. So it will print my name is James, I live in California, I am student. So let's run this, and as you can see, we just printed all these string variables by concatenating them together. But let's say we have one more variable, let's say phone, and we have an integer value here, so 1 2 3. And if we try to concatenate the integer value with a string, so let's say my number is, and we use plus phone, and if we try to run this, then we will get this type error because we cannot concatenate a string and integer together with the plus sign. But what we can do is we can use the format function. So here we can use curly braces inside double quotes and then dot format, and inside the parenthesis we can pass this phone variable. Now if we try to run this, we are getting the integer value along with all the string values. So we can use this format function to concatenate the string and integer together. But this dot format is the old way of concatenating string and integer together. In the Python version 3.6 or above, we have something called fstring. So fstring is much efficient and flexible when it comes to concatenating the integers and string. So we will learn about fstring in the next video. So till then, keep learning. Goodbye.